Hello, good evening. So today we would like to see the delivery distribution in case of EWM and the various combinations it can provide. So what do you mean by delivery distribution is when we create the deliveries in the ECC or S4HANA, they are distributed to the EWM for further processing for warehouse operations. So these are controlled at two different levels. One is at the warehouse number level and one is at the delivery type level. So let's go to SVRO and check both these places in the configuration. So first we will see the warehouse level. So under integration, we have extended warehouse management wherein we have basic settings for EWM linkage. And here under this, so I'll select my warehouse. Okay, so this is my ECC warehouse, and if I see here, I have clearly mentioned distribution mode. Let's look at the F1 help. So it reads like distribution mode for the delivery. So you use this setting to specify the time when an inbound or outbound delivery is distributed to the decentralized WMS. This setting is valid for all the inbound and outbound deliveries that are processed in the relevant warehouse number. You use the following distribution options are possible. Distribution of the delivery occurs immediately. So if we select the setting number 1, it will be immediate, and setting number 2 will suppress the deliveries. And as it is clearly written over here, you can overwrite this setting. So this is a more generic level at the warehouse number, but we can have multiple delivery types for inbound, outbound. For inbound also, for domestic we can have one, for export we can have other. So you can override this setting for each delivery type by defining the distribution mode for the delivery type. Okay, so one important thing to be note here is it is clearly mentioning decentralized WMS, and the system that we are working on, or I'm showing the demo on, is embedded S4HANA 2022. So this is a point to note. So this is what we have done is we have stopped the distribution. Okay, so ideally if you do the distribution stoppage at a more generic level, okay, so whenever you stop, then it should take that. But if you allow, then it should go at the delivery type level, which is more specific. So let's look at that node now. So it's under logistics execution. Under the shipping, we have defined delivery types. Okay, so we will look at EL, inbound delivery. As you see over here, this is the setting. And let's look at F1 help here as well. So here there are 3 settings instead of 2 at the warehouse. So here we see we have distribution mode for the delivery. You use this setting to specify the time at which an inbound or outbound delivery is distributed. Again, it says decentralized. The setting is valid for all the inbound or outbound deliveries with the relevant delivery type. The following distribution options are available. Distribution according to warehouse, distribution of the inbound delivery is suppressed, and then suppressed deliveries are distributed using monitor, and the last is, so first the setting is, it is saying whatever at the warehouse, go with that. Second, it will suppress. Third, it will allow. Okay. If you choose distribution option 1, that means according to the warehouse, the distribution option becomes effective in the relevant warehouse number. The distribution options becomes effective in the relevant warehouse number. For more information, see this. Okay, so let us see this as well. So this is like specific to the decentralized WM, which we are not having. So, but let us see what exactly. Okay, see, we do not see our warehouse either here. Okay. So let's ignore this as of now. So what we are planning to do is, let's build in spreadsheet. Delivery distribution. So first we will mention warehouse, delivery type, and here would be the final result. So under warehouse we have, let's see, so here we will stop. Okay, and here again we will stop, and here again we will stop. So we have the second option which we saw earlier, and here as per warehouse, suppress, allow. Again here we will allow, and we will copy all this three. So ideally if we are stopping at the warehouse level, so ideally if we stop at the warehouse level and at the delivery type we say as per warehouse, then it should stop. If we stop at the warehouse and suppress it, it should stop. It should suppress. If we stop at the warehouse and allow at the delivery type, this is where, I thought it should stop, but it is allowing. So this is a question mark. And if we allow, then it should just, as per warehouse means allow, suppress, and allow. So this is like quite straightforward. This is not required to be tested. This is understood, which is green. So let's look at the other options. Okay. So we will keep this screen open and we will keep one more screen open so that it becomes easier to change the settings. Basic settings. Selection by contents. Warehouse number is equal to PG1 effort. Okay, so here we have stopped. So let us keep stop only, and here we will stop. Okay, or distribution control by warehouse number. So let's save this. Let's save the warehouse and let's create a delivery. Okay, create inbound delivery 50, save. Okay, So as we see, inbound delivery is just saved, okay, which is good. So let's copy this. Okay, this is the message we see. Then let's suppress it at the delivery type level. Stop distribution, let's save. Okay, let's see what different it happens. Save, enter, enter, enter. Okay, again the same message. Inbound delivery has been saved. So they both are one and the same in this case. Then we will ignore this as of now. We will take this later. But first we will do this too. We will allow, and let's see what happens. First at the warehouse level, we will change the settings where we will ask to allow. Save, enter. And then we will distribute control. So ideally it should know which option we want to check is allow here and as per warehouse here, right? So distribution control by warehouse, which is good. So ideally it should allow, let us say. Okay, so this is distributed. Then we will suppress at delivery type level, keeping the setting at warehouse type as allowed. So stop. Okay, again create a delivery. Okay, so as expected, it is like suppressing it. It is not distributing it. Then this is option is logical, not required to test. Now we will look at this final option. Okay, final one. So what we will do is at the warehouse, we will stop. Ideally, all the deliveries that are created for this warehouse should not be distributed. That is what it seems logical. But when we select this option at the delivery type, we say that was distribute immediately. Ideally, as per logic, it should not. It should suppress. It should we should get such a kind of a message. Inbound delivery has been saved, and it should hold the delivery in your ERP. But unfortunately, or because of this query, I am not understanding why it is still distributing. So if I save it, see it will distribute. So this was something this is still a point to ponder, which I need to check out. Okay, and come back. But yes, so this is something which is red. Okay, let's create. Okay, that's fine. So this was the intent of this small session. EWM delivery distribution. Okay, so now let's talk about the business scenario. Why would you need to stop this delivery distribution? So let's take a business example wherein you have, okay, let me so draw some diagrams. Okay, this is your S4HANA system. Okay, and This is your third party system for customs, sorry, for customs and regulations, comma, compliance. So it can be a system which is, a government system also, because ideally all this compliance and customs regulations are something which is taken care by the governments of each country. So this is a good example. Let's try to understand how it is. And this is a SAP Embedded EWM 2022. Okay. So what we are talking is the delivery document. Now this delivery document is something which is a document that is also needed for the people who are the freight forwarders, like, for the transport companies, because they actually take this document and, take the goods and ship it to the end customer or end party. So this is actually a document which is legally required to be having all the data correct. One of the data would be the data of the customs. So say for example, there is a business case wherein we have a export sales, like, say for from the US to the Europe. So in that case, this delivery document, once it is created in SAP, like, how we created, it should not be distributed to EWM immediately. Why? Because once it is distributed, see for example, now, this delivery, 977957, okay, this was distributed, right? So let us see, change. If I go in the change inbound delivery, I cannot change it because delivery is distributed, therefore display only. Now there should be a question why you want to change the delivery, because this delivery would be flown from the S4HANA system to the system of the government. They would validate all the items, HSN numbers of those items, some regulations related to dangerous goods, compliance, and various other things. Then they would stamp that document, the printout of that delivery document, which is taken by our 4PL, 5PL companies. They will get it stamped from this. It can either be manually or it can be automatically in the system, or stamped and signed, okay? And then they will give one number, acknowledgement number. It can be again the number generated from the system automatically if it is integrated, and if not, then manually all those freight brokers have to do it on the ground. That number needs to be added to this delivery document before it is distributed to the EWM. Okay, because once it is distributed, as you see over here, we cannot change this delivery, right? See, if I go in the change, I am already in the change mode. Okay, change, and if I press enter, because this is distributed, I cannot change it. It becomes frozen. Okay, so for such cases, it would be required. So this is the business example. I hope this issue, no, not this issue, but this concept of delivery distribution is clear, and we still have one open doubt. Okay, so feel free to comment if you have the answers around, this point. Otherwise, I will do some investigations and come back. Thanks a lot for watching my video. Have a pleasant evening. Bye.